So if you clicked onto this video, you are either about to buy your first rogue or you are trying to decide which rogue you want to buy, especially with the new release of Seeker. Now in this video, I'm going to break the rogues down into 4 categories based on playstyle. We're going to have aggressive type rogues, which are for people who just want to slay out. We're going to have defensive type rogues for people who want to lock it down. We're going to have versatile rogues, which are people who want to play a balance of the two. And then we're going to have utility rogues. These are rogues that are going to play a more supporting type of position on the team. Now let's go ahead and jump right into this analysis. Now, the first thing that I want to let you know is that if you are thinking about buying a rogue, make sure that you play them in the shooting range first. The shooting range allows you to play any rogue that you like for free, so it is worth your time, because I don't have to tell you that getting rep in this game is a grind. It is a pain if you buy somebody and realize that you didn't really want them after spending 10 to 20k rep on them, so make sure to check it out. Starting with the Slayer rogues, we're going to have Chaac here. Now, Chaac is a excellent rogue for attacking in any type of game mode pretty much. So Chaac has the stim pack, which gives him 75 bonus health or allows him to res himself, and after his buff, now that doesn't degrade as quickly, right? So he can keep that 75 health for longer. Chaac is also really good at forcing 1v1s and 1v2s, and not only that, being able to win those 1v1s and 1v2s because of his stim pack ability. Now, one of the things that makes him so hard to deal with is going to be his perks. So he has life drain and he has replenish, meaning that Chaac can stand and shoot out with you if you're foolish enough to do it, and when he knocks you, he gets 50 health back and his clip, meaning that he can go right into the next fight fully ready to go. So this is the thing that makes Chaac a ridiculous slayer, especially in modes like strikeout. Now in modes like demolition, he has to be a little more tactical, but he can still really clean up. Now for tactics, Chaac does have a nice arsenal though. Obviously, he has the flashbangs, which can be very good for pushing in on people and getting them, especially since he has a very good close range kit, being his SMG and the Skull 6 shotgun, which can one tap. All in all, Chaac is a very good rogue, especially if you just want a pure Slayer rogue, or if you're newer to the game and you want a rogue that's very forgiving and allows you to get yourself back up. The next rogue that we need to talk about on this list is going to be Lancer. Lancer is one of the best rogues for just getting in there, shooting it out, playing very aggressively and fast pace. Her ability, Quick and Quiet, allows her to move at an increased pace, have near silent footsteps, and is immune to reveal, which is a big deal right now that we have 3 intel rogues in the game. And with a high level team in comms, her flanking ability can be devastating to the enemy team, splitting their attention at the very least, and at some points even wiping a team out, right? Because she has the passive, which is the best passive in the game, probably arguably elusive, which combined with life drain can make her simply go into a fight, roll when she needs to reload, and keep on shooting, right, while getting 50 health back whenever she downs somebody. She also has the Simtex grenade, which is great for getting those sticks and just devastating a team, or at the very least one person, right? Because if you stick them, that's 250 damage. That's assuming, of course, that you've upgraded their grenade. Now, with all that being said, Lancer is definitely one of the best slayers in the game right now. The next rogue we need to talk about here is going to be Scorch. Now, even with the nerfs that have just recently come to Scorch, she is still one of the best 1v1 duelists in the game, period. Her ability to slay out is unmatched because she has Overheat. Overheat is going to allow her to deal an additional 4 damage as fire damage for every bullet that she lands, which can be devastating to a person, even a team, if you're caught out. Now, the thing about Scorch is that she has a very close range kit, so you cannot be very passive while playing Scorch. She's a character that is meant to get in there, slay out. That's not to say that she cannot be played tactically, but up close is going to be better for you in the long run, because Scorch has a kit that benefits from being close to people. She has the perk Headstrong first and foremost. It's going to give her 125 health instead of 100, which is going to allow her to tank a couple of more hits. And if you pair that with the fact that she deals more DPS than anybody else in the game, it makes it to where you should not lose a 1v1 unless, of course, you are not hitting shots. On top of that, she has 2 very powerful weapons. The first being her SMG, the SLC, which has one of the fastest fire rates in the game. I think the Objection is the only weapon that is faster than that, and it can really shred you down at close range. Now, the Arbitrator has been nerfed a little bit. It used to be able to one-shot to the body. Now will only hit for 90. Even with Overheat, it still cannot deal 100 damage off rip. So that is something to keep in mind. If you're using the Arbitrator, you will need to get headshots. Scorch also has a fire nade and an EMP nade. The fire nade is great for flushing people out or keeping people off of a point, while the EMP is great for shutting down rogue abilities, making it even easier for Scorch to get in there and really wreak havoc on the enemy team. Scorch is definitely a slayer. Make sure to check her out. The last rogue that we need to put in this aggressive slash slayer list is going to be Kestrel. Kestrel is a fairly new rogue and she has a kit that is meant to slay out. Now she has the ability called the Halo drone, which allows her to shoot these drones towards a location of her choosing. This ability is very good for blocking off corners or for getting people with splash damage if you hit the wall that they're trying to hide near, or if you get high ground and hit right next to them or right on their noggin. Deals 60 damage per tick, and that can hit multiple people if they're stacked up. Now for her passive, she has the Legends contract, which is actually very good. This basically allows her to get 1,000 extra dollars whenever she downs somebody, which in turn is going to allow her to buy more things in the item shop, assuming that she is slaying out a little bit, right? And there's a huge difference between fighting against a non-upgraded Riptide and a fully upgraded Riptide, right? Or a fully upgraded grenade versus a not fully upgraded grenade. So her ability to get ahead of people is one of the reasons that she can slay out so much. Now if you add on top of that, Kestrel also has the bounce grenade and the adrenaline shot. Both of these are very good items. I think people sleep on the adrenaline shot, but it allows her to get health back, right? But not only that, it also allows her to move at a quicker pace. Now it's not anything crazy, but it will allow her to get to positions faster than people may be expecting, which gives her the advantage in that gunfight. And the bounce nade is great for catching people off guard because the fuse time can be so much quicker than the frag grenade depending on how you throw it and how you use it. So it catches people off guard. And if you pair this with her perk resupply, whenever she eliminates a target, she's able to get her purchase gadgets back, meaning that Kestrel can have a endless supply of bounce nades, especially in something like Strikeout. But even in Demolition, this is very vital because just having a single extra grenade can be devastating to the enemy team. So very good for slaying out. Now, the next category we need to talk about are defensive rogues, and I should really say defensive rogue. There's only one rogue in the game right now that isn't free, that is under the defender category right now, and that is Vi. She has the best zoning potential in the game right now, especially with the nerf that came to Trench. Her Vow Poison, if placed correctly, can absolutely cripple the enemy team while making Vi even stronger with her Leeching Poison passive ability. Now, if you pair that with her Incendiary Grenade, Vi can deal huge damage while also effectively sealing off a point for a short period of time. You know, so those high traffic areas that you know people are going to be trying to go down, Vi is going to completely take those off of the map for the enemy team. Now she has the Nightshade, which has been buffed in the past, and it makes it a very decent gun. I would say that it's definitely like an A tier weapon. Some people would argue S tier weapon. The recoil on it is almost zero, and if you're getting those headshots, you can burn down most people. I also have to mention her other gadget, which is the tear gas. Now I know the tear gas doesn't do any damage, but it does slow the enemy team down, and it also disorients them. This can basically put Vi at 5 throwables if you build her correctly, which is the most of anybody in the game and can put a ton of pressure on an enemy team. If you're looking for a solid defender type rogue, Vi is your best choice in the game right now. Now let's go ahead and move on to our versatile rogues, and we're going to start this off with Dahlia. Dahlia is by far the most versatile rogue in the game simply because of her passive buddy system. Dahlia is able to take on the passive of any one of her teammates if she goes ahead and links onto them, which means that you can choose and change your playstyle as you see fit. So great for people who are on the fence or who like to sway between different type of playstyles, right? If there's a Lancer on your team, you can take her ability, get elusive, play more aggressively, or you can choose somebody who is meant more for defense like Sigrid or Anvil. Now, another thing to note about Dahlia is that she has 2 weapons in the game that are very powerful, the Objection and the MXR. Now, the Objection is a very close range shredding SMG, whilst the MXR is great at that mid to long range, and it's used to play when you're trying to cover people a little bit more. Dahlia also has the frag grenade, which is good for securing kills, fleshing people out, and she has the smoke nade, which is good for securing safe passage or blocking off line of sights from the enemy team. All in all, great for supporting whoever she is running with. The last thing that I will mention about Dahlia is the fact that she has Lifeline. Lifeline is going to allow her to res people in 2.5 seconds, and if she's linked to that person, she doesn't even have to go and actually touch them. If you want a rogue that can do everything and does it well, Dahlia is definitely the choice that you want to go with. The next rogue that we're going to put here is going to be Sigrid. Sigrid just received a couple of buffs, meaning that she lost evasive and gained a new perk called Toughen Up, and she's also received life drain instead of tracker rounds. Now, Toughen Up is going to allow her to take 30% reduced melee damage, which is great for Sigrid because she is supposed to be a breacher, a bully who can run in there before her team, crouch down, and suck up any bullets that are coming for her teammates, right? Because you kind of have to deal with a Sigrid if she's coming at you with that shield, or you're going to get punished. Now, the thing that makes Sigrid so powerful and why I put her in this versatile type of playset is because she can be played as a defender or she can be played hyper aggressive, right? She has the kit to do both. She has the stim pack, which allows her to move faster, so you know, a little mini lancer, and she also has the Semtex grenade, meaning that she can get to a spot, throw that nade, and if somebody is unlucky enough to get stuck, she can wipe a team. I've seen it before, I've done it before. Now, her guns are pretty good as well. She has Chaac's SMG, which at mid-range to short range is going to really be a shredder, and the Tac shotgun is okay, hits 93 to the head, so as long as you're hitting your shots, you can devastate some people, you can do some pretty fast damage and catch them off guard. Now, for defending, Sigrid can also be a pain because she can really stonewall off a point. And she has lifeline, so that means that if she does have to play back, she can get people up and play that supporting role if need be, right? Now, the counter to her obviously would be fire nades and Vi, but if the enemy team doesn't have those, or if you can get around that, Sigrid's a pretty hard rogue to take down. Now, the next rogue that I have on here is Phantom. Phantom is a very versatile rogue, and I know some of you may be thinking that she should be in the Slayer category because she is a sniper, but Phantom is very good at holding a point, right? She can completely cut off an alleyway, a sight line, because people do not want to challenge her or try to get by her and risk getting a headshot and making it a 3v4, right? Now, she can definitely slay out though. She is the only sniper in the game, between Fixer obviously, that has 4 bullets in her round right off the jump, meaning that if she gets all headshots, she can completely wipe a team with just 1 clip. She also has the nano smoke, which is going to allow her to be able to cut off choke points and make people have to think, am I going to run through that smoke, get revealed and get gunned down, or am I going to try to take an alternate route, which people would normally do. She has the grievous wounds, which is going to make it hard for people to regen that health, right? You go from 5 seconds up to 7 seconds, which can make a huge difference in a very vital gunfight. She also has the frag grenade, which is going to be good for securing those downs that she or her teammates get. And she has the sticky sensor, which is going to be able to track people who may be trying to get a flank off or just get those high traffic points so that we can see where people are coming from. A lot of people sleep on that one, but it makes Phantom a very viable, very versatile rogue in this game. Now, the next rogue I have on here is going to be Fixer, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking Fixer is one of the best slayers in the game, and that is true. But you also know that Fixer can be a very good defender. He is definitely versatile. Even though he only has 2 bullets in his sniper, the fire rate of his sniper makes it very easy to get downs, especially if people do not have headstrong, and he's very good at holding a point, right? He has the thermal vision that pairs very well with his teammates' smoke and his own cluster smoke, meaning that he can completely cut off a point and make people very hesitant to challenge that because they know that Fixer will probably be able to see them through that smoke. Fixer also has C4, which allows him to block off those high traffic areas or get cheeky kills if he does need to push up or if somebody's brave enough to push up on him. Fixer also has the perks Bounce Back and Headstrong, which makes him a very hard rogue to 1v1 or take down in general because he can play that range game on you, and even if you do get up close, the Warren is definitely not a bad secondary and can burn some people down if you are hitting shots with it. The last category that we need to talk about here is going to be our utility rogues. Now let's go ahead and start this off with Glitch. Glitch is one of the best utility rogues in the game right now because he can do a little bit of everything, right? His hack ability is so great. It's able to basically knock out any defensive that people are trying to make. So that means active protection system, barbed wire, Ronin knife, anything like that is getting knocked out, right? And if you haven't used your ability and he gets the hack off before you do, you will not have access to that for a short period of time. Not only that, but his hack allows him to see who is in close range, right? Now, it's not as good as, let's say, Seeker or Talon, being able to actually see where people are, but it does give you an idea of who is close to you, which is also good if you are in comm. Glitch also has access to the Simtex and the flash grenade. Now the flash nade is so great for actually getting in there, breaching, and allowing your teammates to clean up, right? If you call it right, you time it right, you are able to decimate a team, especially if they do not have an anvil. Now, Glitch has the Skull 6 and the LMP, which are both great weapons. The LMP deals great damage at that close to mid-range, while the shotgun is obviously going to be a close range, hitting for 88 to the body and being able to one-tap people, making Glitch a tear to deal with in a fight. Last thing I need to note here is that Glitch is one of 3 rogues in the game right now that has the combination of tenacity and headstrong, which is a big deal in this current meta, because with the addition to Seeker in the game, he can now hit you with the bounce nade for 200 if he hits you right on the feet, right? But that's not the scariest part. Even if he's within range of you, he can still deal big damage with a grenade. So having a rogue like Glitch who has this combination of tenacity and headstrong at least gives you a chance to survive a grenade like that, where other rogues are definitely not as lucky. Now let's go ahead and talk about Talon here, because he has one of the best utility items in the game right now, which is his radar dart. You can basically throw this dart around the map and identify where the enemy team is, and that will pop up on the mini map for your teammates as well. You can throw this dart as high as you want to, and people will not know it's there and will not be able to get to it unless they have a glitch. Of course, he'll be able to find it. Mag Glove also makes Talon a very great utility type rogue, because he is able to actually grab things from range, right? Now if you're playing Demolition or one of the other more competitive modes, you can actually grab the bomb if it drops from your teammate, right? You're able to secure that without having to go out and risk being shot down, which is a big deal in those clutch moments. Now, Talon also has life drain and tenacity, which is going to make him have some excellent survivability, and you pair that with padded step, it's going to allow him to be an excellent flanker, catch up to people silently and go ahead and take him out, changing the flow of that battle. He has the LMP, which is great at that short to mid range, like I said, while he also has the Deadeye, which can be devastating at that mid to long range. The Deadeye is one of the few guns in the game that is a 2-shot headshot. And lastly, Talon has C4, and he also has access to flashbangs, a very devastating combination here, because the C4 is going to be able to block off those key points if need be, while the flashbang can be used to go ahead and support your team by blinding the enemies. Talon is a great rogue for people who are more concerned with winning the game as opposed to slaying out and getting the most kills. Now, the last rogue that we have to talk about here is going to be the new rogue Seeker. Now, Seeker is an excellent pick if you're looking for a utility, because he plays a very good supporting rogue. He's very good at helping his team secure locations and downs. Now, the way that Seeker is going to track people is by using his bow, right, which is his ability. He's able to shoot his bow, and people are going to be revealed if they are on the flight path of his arrow. Now, one thing to note is that it doesn't last very long, so it's kind of like the same as Dallas's snap ability. Another thing to note about his bow and arrow is that the arrow only hits for about 50 to the body, 75 to the head, and if you ricochet it off a wall, it'll hit somebody for 120, which notably is not enough to kill somebody with headstrong. Some other ways that Seeker does shine, though, is that he has the bounce grenade, and if you pair that with his passive ricochet, he is able to deal 200 damage to a player or players in that radius if he has the grenade fully upgraded, which is a ridiculous amount of damage considering how fast the fuse is for the bounce grenade. Seeker also has the sticky sensor, which is going to allow him to get even more vision on the map. You can throw that on any place where there's high traffic or you think people may be trying to flank, and you'll be able to see that. But not only you, your teammates will be able to see it on their mini map as well, which can be very vital just for the intel that it will provide. The weapons that Seeker has is going to be the Sahara, which is his AR, and then the Aaron, which is his DMR. Both guns have their strengths. The Sahara has a pretty good fire rate and deals 24 to the body, 30 to the head, and can really shred people down in that short to mid-range encounters, where the Aaron shines in that mid to long-range encounter, hitting people for 32 to the body and 48 to the head, which can be devastating on maps like Vice or Lockdown. Seeker is also one of the 3 rogues that has lifeline right now, meaning that he can res his teammates very quickly, and if you pair this with the fact that he has life drain and bounce back, he's able to hold his own, especially if he can keep people at range, and if they do get close, he does have the baseball bat, so you know he can hit a home run here and there. Let me know down in the comments which rogue you're thinking of buying next and why. Thank you for watching. This is Scorch. Peace, 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 peace.